What's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome back to Dripping in Knowledge with your host, Bando. And before we start, I want you to check your frequencies. Not your phone, not your Wi Fi. Pause. Your spirit. Ooh, y'all ain't ready for that. Y'all ain't ready for the wave today. Why your spirit? Because everything in life responds to frequency people, opportunities, peace, and even chaos. Mm. We got a couple segments today that we are going to go deep into. And yeah, that's how we do it on this show. That's the reason why y'all lock in with me and support. And I appreciate it. I see it. The streams, I can definitely see it. So the first segment, everything that I want to talk about, some of the things that's on my mind about this. And I had to really like episode 7. I'm sorry before we even start, but episode 7 really took a lot out of me because I really had to sit down and really come up with the facts, really come up with the straight facts, really sit here and be like, okay, cool, let me get these ideas together and really put them together because I didn't want to give y'all nothing just sloppy and nothing like that. No diddy. I didn't want to give you nothing like that. And I wanted to try to give y'all the facts and how to put it in like terms that y'all might understand, or if y'all don't understand, like, knowledge is key and knowledge is power. That's what we promote on there. Um, you gain that and you're like, oh, Dip, this is another way to interpret it. You know what I mean? So that's pretty dope. With that being said, what frequency really is. Frequency is what you tolerate, it's what you entertain, it's what you repeatedly give your energy to. Hear me out. Again, it's what you repeatedly give your energy to. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. I'm gonna let that sink in for a minute. We're gonna let that sink in for a minute. Okay. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Wisdom is realizing when your frequency has changed, but your environment hasn't. Damn, that kind of hit different. And wisdom is realizing when your frequency has changed, but your environment hasn't. Mm, damn. Yep. That is the truth. That is the truth. And if you don't understand that, further on down the line in the show, you'll definitely understand. So just hang in there and just lock in with me even more. Open up your mind, relax. If you smoke a joint, and just lock in with me. Um, so now we're going to talk about knowledge versus wisdom, recoded, and this all ties into segment 1. See what I'm saying? It all ties into that. Knowledge versus wisdom, recoded. Knowledge tells you what's happening. Wisdom tells you what's no longer aligns. You see what I'm saying? Knowledge is telling you what's happening around you. It's making you more aware. You see what I'm saying? But wisdom tells you what's no longer aligns. So things in your life might not align no more like it used to when, you know, maybe you elevated, maybe you didn't change your old ways. A lot of that stuff is just wisdom, is gaining that knowledge of, okay, cool. If I do that, if I do step A, then I'm going to get in trouble. If I do step B, I'm going to get in trouble. If I do step C, then I'll be okay. If I do step D, then I'll be extra good. So it's the wisdom. See what I'm saying? Is that's when the wisdom kicks in. That's when the wisdom kicks in. Wisdom's going to tell you what's no longer aligns. And you can know when someone's draining you. You can know that. And that's what I'm saying. Everything ties back to frequencies and energies. You know when someone's draining you. You know a situation is off. You know that. But wisdom, mm, let me tell you about wisdom, man. But wisdom says, this doesn't match my frequency anymore. This is when walking away isn't emotional, it's energetic alignment. Let that sink in for a minute. Matter of fact, if anybody is dealing with, I can't even say anybody, but a lot of people that are dealing with this winter storm, um, on the 23rd of January 2026, hang in there, keep God first, and please follow the orders. Please. I'm just throwing it out there. But I hope y'all let that sink in there. That's when walking away is an emotional, it's an energetic alignment. Wisdom. This doesn't match my frequency anymore. You see what I'm saying? It's knowing. It's knowing that walking away isn't emotional. It's a energetic alignment. So that right there is something to really think about and really just let it marinate. And now we go on to why you have to walk away to recode. And I bring everything back to coding. Coding is consistently making something better and generating it and making it better and making it better. Coding overall is just language. You see what I'm saying? It goes deep into that because everybody got a different term of coding. But coding, if you want to just like break it down in so many ways, it can be broken down in so many ways. So I broke it down in this type of way. So, you can kind of understand a little bit better if you're understanding, if you're taking it serious. Because a lot of people don't even take anything as serious. A lot of people don't even take the knowledge and the wisdom that I give because a lot of people don't really want to either accept the facts, or a lot of people don't want to really sit back and listen. All you have to do is listen, and my model. You know the slogan. Okay? You know the slogan. Clean your ears, brush your teeth, and shut your mouth and listen. That's all. So, why you have to walk away to recode? You can't recode your frequency while staying plugged into the same sources, same conversations, the same habits, the same environments. Let me repeat that again. You can't recode your frequencies while staying plugged into the same sources, same conversations, excuse me, same environments. You can't. You can't do it. You can't do it because that right there is that's holding you back. You just plugged into the same sources. You need new sources to elevate. You need different sources, different lead ways to generate. Just like I generate different money, that's how you got to put it in life. You need different sources. The same sources is draining. You know what I mean? You can't recode. You're on the same frequency. You're plugged into the same sources. So let me go deep into that real quick. I'm sorry, my little put on my head and stuff. Let's go into it a little bit more, a little bit deeper. What I was talking about. So some people don't hate you. Okay, they're just tuned into an old version of you. Now let's get that clear. Some people don't hate you. They're just tuned into an old version of you, a old frequency. You see what I'm saying? And the wisdom is understanding. If I keep explaining myself, I'm lowering my signal. I'm just lowering my signal. If I keep explaining myself. See what I'm saying? And why would I want to lower my frequency if I'm trying to elevate my frequency? I'm trying to get to higher frequencies. I don't want to go down. It starts sounding distorted and it just doesn't make sense anymore. You see what I'm saying? And that's the power of frequency and understanding it. Now, let's go deeper into that. Silence is frequency upgrade. Damn. Silence is a frequency upgrade. So let's talk about that one. Cause that's kind of interesting. Wow. Silence is a frequency upgrade? Hmm. Yeah, let's talk about that. Silence is what? Frequency upgrade. So let's dig deep. I about to say that deep. Like I was like some had crazy slang, nigga. No diddy. But hey, yo, I don't know why I keep saying that, but it's just I don't know, man. These young cats, man. It starts wearing on you sometimes. But hey, listen, silence, it isn't okay. It isn't avoidance. Silence is caliber. Mm. Before I say that, I just caught myself. I just caught myself because I just thought about something. This one really hits me because it's like silence is a frequency upgrade. Damn, that really hit me. It might not make sense to y'all, but it just really hit me like, damn. It's like it this shit really like hit me, bro. It hit me because it's just like I really worked so hard on like elevating myself. I really worked so hard on elevating myself. I worked so hard on elevating myself and trying to understand this because I was so stuck on frequencies that I just couldn't get past. I'm like, damn, why keep elevating and going down, going down, going down? Because I was plugged into the same sources. You see what I'm saying? When you stop explaining, when you stop defending, when you stop reacting, you know what I mean? Your frequencies stabilize. They fucking stabilize. Oh, my fault. They fucking stabilize. And that's the crazy thing about it. When you stop defending, when you stop reacting, your frequencies will stabilize. You're not everybody's deserve access to your thoughts. You're not everybody's fucking access to your thoughts. You're not. You can't allow everybody to your thoughts. See what I'm saying? You can't. You can't allow everybody to your thoughts because when you start allowing everybody to your thoughts, they tap into that frequency and either they could drain your frequency or they could bring you down. And you don't want that. See what I'm saying? You don't want that. Not everybody deserves access, okay? Not to your emotions or your process. So whatever your emotions are, whatever your process is, they just don't have, they shouldn't have access to that. That's private information. That's private coding. And if you have a certain type of code or frequency, you just got to reprogram it. You got to recode your frequency. See what I'm saying? Some people only hear you to respond, not to understand. Yo, that's crazy. And that's the truth. Some people only hear you to respond, but not to understand. How many people go through that? How many people listening right now go through that on a daily basis with friends, family, loved ones, all types of people? For real. Let me say that one more time because that's deep right there, yo. Some people only hear you to respond, not to understand. Not at all. Nothing. To sit there like la 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 la. Just want to talk. La, 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 just always want to not even understand. I've been through that. People just don't want to understand. No. Self love is discipline. Frequency addition. So this adds into the frequency and how self love allows you to elevate. It allows you to blossom like a fucking butterfly. You know what I mean? In the spring and the summer. After hibernating and staying in that fucking frequency, you're just finally able just to break out of it. See what I'm saying? Love, self love isn't always soft. Sometimes self love is discipline. Discipline to say no. Discipline to detach. Discipline to walk away even when your ego wants closure. Even when your ego wants closure. The discipline to walk away even when your ego wants closure. Peace isn't always passive. Peace is protected. Peace is protected. Let me bring that back. Peace isn't passive. Peace is protected. If it costs you your peace, it's too expensive for your frequency. I hope y'all heard that because it's the truth. If it costs you your peace, it's too expensive for your frequency. Yeah, and I had to say it like that because it's the truth. Now let that shit sit in. Write that shit down. Send that to a friend in a fucking voice note. Clip this motherfucker. Shit. Post it everywhere because it's the truth. If it costs you your peace, if it's too expensive, mm, that means it's too expensive for your frequencies. It's all tied into the cost of your peace. How much do you value your peace? Is it below the market value or is it above the market value to a point where they're complaining? Because if it costs your peace in any type of way, it's too expensive for your frequency. And that's the truth. God first equals trusting separation. Okay. And this ties into the last thing we talked about. If your cost for your frequency, I'm sorry, if the cost for your frequency is below market value, you're going to get what you get. And that's just it to tie it up on that part. But let's go into how God first equals trusting separation. Separation to align yourself better in your frequencies to elevate, to find new sources of energy to get you out of the slump that you're in, or, the situation that you're in, or how you think everybody's against you, but they're not. Because somebody got you on that frequency level. See what I'm saying? We don't want that. So let me break this down to you. Keeping God first doesn't mean forcing alignments. We pray for clarity, but ignore discomfort. Sometimes God, he doesn't change the situation. He changes you. See what I'm saying? I need everybody to hear that. And I need to, when I say this, I'm gonna hear this too, naturally. But it's gonna stick in my head because it does. Every time I do an episode, I always learn something new about something I did. So this right here just really hits. And that's why I said it took a while for me to put this episode 7 together, because I was so locked in on finding the facts and putting it in terms that people would understand and respect and really take in something different in a different way, and saying it in a different way, in a different form. So keeping God first doesn't mean forcing alignments. We pray for clarity, but ignore discomfort. Sometimes God doesn't change the situation, he changes you. And once your frequency shifts, what used to feel normal starts feeling heavy. Mm, mm, mm. Separation isn't punishment, it's preparation. God removes what can't come where he's taking you. Let's talk about that. Separation isn't punishment, it's preparation. God removes what can't come where he's taking you. Let that shit hit for a minute. Think about that. If you're going through something right now and you want to quit, no, think about this shit right here. Think about what I'm saying right now. Think about how deep that is. That shit's deep. And sometimes you just got to sit down and just let it just marinate and just let it just fucking sit there like you're watching a fucking football game, but you're just listening to these fucking words. Excuse my language. You have to understand this shit. Separation isn't punishment, it's preparation. God removes what can't come where he's taking you. Point blank. It just ain't happening. Okay? Moving quietly and moving clean. Growth makes you quieter. You don't announce shifts. You don't explain exits. You don't move differently. Not everyone needs closure. Some people just need distance so you can protect your signal. Damn. Moving quietly and moving clean. I have to go over this one more time because that shit was strong. Growth makes you quieter. It makes you quieter. You don't want to speak to nobody. You don't want to be around nobody. You're just doing you. It makes you more locked in. It makes you more focused. You don't have to announce shifts. You don't have to tell people that, oh, yeah, I'm going to be quiet. Just do it. You don't have to explain exits. You don't have to explain the reason why you're not fucking with this person, not fucking with this person, not being around this with this person, being around this person. You don't need to explain that. Just do it. You just move differently. Not everyone needs closure. Everyone doesn't need closure. Some people just need distance so you can protect your signal. You protect your signal. A signal is a what? Frequency. See? A signal is a frequency. It's a fucking frequency. Frequency. Goes back to what we was locked in with. It goes back to what I was talking about, being locked in. It starts from the top. Everything we didn't talked about, I told you, was going to break down even deeper. It goes into this. Now, this is the part of the show that I want you to listen to me and really take in. Please. I need y'all to really just breathe, relax. If y'all say a prayer, and really just take this in. Okay? This is what I want to say. I need y'all to lock in with me. Okay? Locking it in. I need y'all to lock in with me. Okay? I need y'all to lock in with me. So if you feel yourself pulling away lately, if things that used to excite you don't hit you the same, it's not confusion. That's recoding. That's recoding. Wisdom ain't about knowing more. It's not. It's not about knowing more. I tell people I'm not smarter than you. Wisdom's not about knowing more. It's about knowing when to leave so your frequency can rise. So your frequency can rise. Let me bring it back. Wisdom ain't about knowing more. Nobody's smarter than the next person. It's all about knowing when to leave so your frequency can rise. Protect your peace. Trust God. And don't apologize for evolving. Never, and I mean never, apologize to nobody for evolving into the best form of yourself, to getting on levels of frequency that many can't tap in, and believing in yourself and loving yourself and recoding yourself. You never apologize for that. And you always keep God first. You always protect your peace. And then remember, wisdom is not about knowing more. You're not better than this person. You're not better than that person. It's about knowing when to leave so your frequency can rise. You trust in God. Hope y'all really enjoyed this episode. This was episode 7. Wise enough to walk away, recoding your frequency. If this resonates, I need y'all to share this with somebody who's leveling up quietly. Knowledge is power, but wisdom is alignment. God first, always. This is your boy Bando, dripping in knowledge. I appreciate y'all. This is episode 7. Follow me on all my social media. The links are down in the bio. Yeah, I hope y'all really rock with me. And if you're not rocking with me, I'm still rocking with y'all. Because I'm not the best. Y'all the best. Appreciate y'all. One love. Peace. And we out of here.